What's going on out there, good people? This is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, coming at you today with a quick video that I wanted to put out, just showing the option scanner that I use in the mornings when I'm trying to find trade ideas. It is a scanner that I built in the thinkorswim platform. thinkorswim makes it real easy to build scanners. And these scanners help to take a market that has over 5,000 stocks in it and dwindle it down to a manageable size to be able to go through and find trade ideas that meet your criteria and that will work for your particular trading strategy. So I'll go ahead, pull up thinkorswim. We'll build that option scanner. We'll then attach it to a watch list. And you'll see from that watch list, we can take those stocks that have met the criteria to be on the option scanner and dwindle it down even further and add those to our daily ideas watch list. And once they hit the daily ideas watch list, then we'll put them on thumbnail charts. And the thumbnail charts are what I watch once the market opens, looking for a pattern. And then if I do see that pattern, then I'll go ahead and look at the stock a little further on my battle station, which has all of the different chart time frames that I like to look at in order to determine if I want to get into a trade. So we'll go ahead, pull up thinkorswim and get rocking and rolling. Be right back. All right, so we have thinkorswim pulled up. I'll go ahead and kill that. And we'll build this scanner real quick, and then we will get to building our watch list. So it's real simple to build the scanner screener in thinkorswim. You'll just come up here to scan. And this one here, I already have it in here. This is what I use, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete. So when you open this, if you see anything in there, you would just click those X's and that will remove those filters. So for my option scan, I tell it to scan all optionable stocks, don't intersect with anything, and exclude all OTC, all over-the-counter stocks. So let's go ahead and get building. First thing you want to do is add a filter. First filter we'll add is stock, and this here is going to be last. And we want the price. And before we do that, right now, without any filters, it's showing that it's almost 6,000 stocks out there that meet just those criteria. So we're going to look for stock that's priced between $50 and $800. So that knocked it down to 2,193. Next filter we're going to add is going to be in the stocks, but we're going to do volume this time. And we're going to say we want stocks that have more than 25,000 shares being traded in the pre-market. And that's 477. So within this 2,193, possibly 477 are in there. But we'll add another filter. So this one is going to be a study. So this study, we are going to be another volume study. And this one is going to be average volume. And we're going to keep the defaults. So the default says that the 50 period simple moving average volume is greater than 1 million shares. So it's getting some activity. That's our third filter. And our final filter is going to be a study, and it's going to be a custom study because I haven't found it in any of these. I'm sure it probably is, but this one will be a custom study. We're going to delete this default out of there, and we'll add the condition that we want. So the condition is going to be a study, and it's going to be of the ATR. And you'll hear this as average true range or average trading range. I usually refer to it as average trading range. And we want that to be greater than a value of $3. So basically, we're looking for stocks that have a average trading range of $3 per day. That's the amount of money that they trade. So these two won't give you matches until you actually scan for them. So we'll hit scan, and we took that 5,000 match or 5,000 stocks and dwindled it down to 72. So that's manageable. We can manage that when we're trying to find ideas in the morning. So we'll come here, we'll save it. I already have it saved, and that's what I call it. You can call it whatever you want to call it, and then you just hit save. And it's not going to let me update it because it's pulled up on something else. But I'm going to put a 1 behind it. Now we'll save it. So there we go. So now, because it's pre-market time and I need to be finding some ideas, I'm going to come over here and look for it. And there it is. So we'll use that one this morning. And what I will do is sort this by dollar gainers. We only have 5, and of the 5, only 3 are actually dollar gainers. And now I'm looking for long plays. So when I'm doing this, I'm looking first uptrend over the 50-day moving average. So this is just breaking over it. I'll come here and I'll drop a candle on the daily. Just for this one, I'm gonna clear everything off of it so you can see it. So I'll come here, I'll drop a candle. We see where it dropped that candle at. I'll come over here and start finding, oh, I don't have that set to my price action. There we go. I'll come over here and start finding areas of support and resistance. So that would be one right there. So it gapped over that area. It's gapping over a little small green candle that was a bottom and tail. So I'll definitely be interested in seeing what that's doing. That has an ATR of 17, definitely good there. So we'll add that. Next, we'll go to AXP. We want it in a uptrend here. That's going to make sure that it's in an uptrend on the 5-minute. We want it above the 50. So it's meeting that. We'll go ahead and drop it. This one is gapping up pretty good, and it's gapping right into the 200. So this one here, American Express, could bounce off of this 200 and get pushed back down, but I'll definitely keep an eye on that one. And it has an ATR of 463. So we'll add that one. SRTY. We see SRTY it was in an uptrend, sold off all day yesterday, even while the market was pulling back, and now it's trying to recover. Low volume, had low volume, no real volume on those candles. So I'm not really going to be interested in that. If I drop an arrow, it's going to be somewhere, what I thought, in the middle of that red candle. So definitely wouldn't be interested in that. We'll go to Nike. Let's see what Nike is doing. Nike was in a downtrend, came up in the pre-market, somewhat tested it. Nice pull, came back, tested it. Again, low volume. Let's see where it's set on the daily. So we'll drop that arrow. It's almost clearing yesterday's candle. We'll drop price action right there as maybe a bounce if it comes back down. We already have one on the high side. So, and that has an ATR of 4. Still low volume, 30,000 in the pre-market. So no real volume. Um, I'll add it just to look at it because don't think it's gonna be many on the list this morning. But now I'll sort it by dollar losers. And look how many losers we have. This tells us that the market is down today. And we see it right there. The SPY and the Qs are right there at the top. So first one we're going to look at is ASML. It's down $37. And come up here and check the news. Don't really see nothing speaking to that stock. In a downtrend, we got our pullback. In a downtrend, we need another pullback right here. We'll drop an arrow on the daily, and we see that it is right at the bottom. That's pretty good. I like that. I just don't know about the big gap. So that there is an area. That might act as resistance trying to go to the high side. But this here could have a lot of buyers trapped in there from yesterday, and it could sell off right as the market opens with these people that bought up here fearful and selling. So I'll definitely add that one. And one thing that's not on this screen that usually is, I usually have the option chain right here covering this 4 hour. The 4 hour chart is one that I use more so for, one I use more so for swing plays. So I will normally have the option chain right there. So now you're seeing exactly what I would be looking at. And I do that so that I can see what open interest is. I can see what the prices is, but more importantly, I can see what the spread is. So looking at ASML, I would not touch it for an option play. Low open interest, that's the delta I want to be at. And look at the spread. $7 spread. That's $700 to get in or out of that. So we'll remove that one right there very quickly. Look at BNTX real quick. Oops. Let me turn that on. Look at BNTX. And I'm going to go back here and click that. You click this little thumbtack and it will pin it. So now it won't go back behind there. So BNTX, we always looking for 0.25, low open interest, and actually that's March. So let's go to February. There we go. So again, same thing though. Low open interest, high spread. I'm gonna lose that one too. Let's check it on the put side just to see what, yep, still low open interest. I like the open interest to be at least 1,000, and that's still kind of low. So like this one here is good, 1,100. I could deal with it. 19, I could work with that. 21 cents, I could work with that. And we'll come over here on the put side, same thing. 1,500, 23 delta, 35 cents. So this is the spread that I talk about when I talk about putting in a hard stop. So with the hard stop, this has a 35-cent spread. So that's $35 that you can get lost in the spread after you stop out. So if I did take a play on American Express, I would not put a hard stop in on this one. And I wouldn't take any other trades while I'm in this trade. I would just watch this trade. And then we'll look at Nike real quick. Nike should be fairly liquid. 5,000, almost 6,000. That's my delta I like. 14 cents, so $14 spread. We'll come back on the put side. I would probably get this one. Good open interest. A little less than my 0.25, but I could deal with it in a $7 spread. So if we get a pattern in Nike, Nike will definitely be one that's in play. Let's get back to it real quick. Got about 5 minutes. So we'll come here to NVDA. NVDA is still in its downtrend. Let's see where we're at on the daily. On the daily, it's right here. Pretty much where it was at yesterday. Yep, we see yesterday's arrow. So we're pretty much in the same area, right at the 200 moving average. So that 200 moving average is going to be key today on that one. Again, we'll come up here and check our 0.25 high volume $25 spread. That's one that if we took that one, we wouldn't play with anything else until we were out of that one. 5,000 here, 0.22 with a 15-cent spread. That one's good for getting in and out of. But look at the open interest up here. A lot of people are in this one, playing this one to come down, which would cause the delta to come up, because for every dollar, these numbers are moving this way when the stock drops. So I'll add that one. Let's look at Netflix. Netflix is a little more pricier than we usually want to play with, but we'll look at it. It's kind of just been consolidating, dropped, caught traction yesterday with the run that the market had, and then we see it's back consolidating again. We'll drop an arrow, and don't look up here. Netflix is way down here. So Netflix is not really one that I want to be interested with today. 2,000 on the open interest, but look at the spreads. That's what gets me with Netflix. Netflix is if I was doing a swing option play, because that spread is too high for daily intraday plays. This is the Qs. Qs is in a downtrend. Came here and tested the 50 in pre-market, rejected it, pushed it down. Kind of just trading in this channel. We'll come over here, drop the arrow. We see that it's trading in that green candle from yesterday. The Qs and the SPY are always on my list. If we look, volume is usually always decent. And it's so many contracts that it doesn't even show you the one that I usually like to be in. But that's kind of high on the spreads today. 23. Normally those spreads are single digits. So those are kind of high. But like I said, they're always on the list. Facebook, downtrend. Came up. Same thing like the Qs. Pre-market. Tested the 50. Rejected it. Let's see where we're at on the daily. You kind of see the routine. We're in between that candle again. So it's an inside day here. Probably on everything. We'll come down to about the 25 range. If I was going to get in any of them, it would probably be this one just because it's more liquid. 50-cent spread, high spread. At the moment, I won't add Facebook because that spread is way too high. SPY, same thing, pre-market, right at the 50, coming down. It tested it not long ago, rejected it. Again, we'll drop the arrow. Inside day on that candle. Let's look at the contracts. This one is this one almost made it in there, but we see it's at 6,000. This is a good one. That's 27. That's very liquid. These spreads are normally cents, 1 cent, 2 cents. So even a 8-cent spread, which is just $8, that's still kind of high for the SPY. And we'll come over to a put, 17, good liquidity. That's my delta, 4-cent spread. So like I said, those two are always on there because they're always viable plays depending on if you catch it in the right trend. So IVV, downtrend, tested the 50, rejected. We'll check the price, inside the candle, it's inside day. Come here, check the Option interest, 0, none. Keep moving. And I probably should be doing that first before I go through anything else, but I have my routine. Downtrend, tested it, didn't get all the way up to it, but it's in a nice smooth downtrend. It's going to catch support right there. We'll drop an arrow. It's right there. This one, if it can break this candle, this daily high, we may see some play. And that daily high is, as I would have thought, pretty much right at that area where it needs to break. So come over here, take a peek. We'd probably look at that one. High spread. Let's come over to the puts. Low open interest. So not going to look at SE today. Sorry about that. Still a little congested. Let's look at IVV. Downtrend, tested it, rejected it, pushed it back down. Inside day. And I think we just looked at that one. It's moving around. Yep. Let's go to some other ones real quick. Microsoft has earnings, I heard, today at market close. Down, tested, rejected. Drop it. Inside day, right at the 200. It's funny how a lot of these stocks, you look at them and they are identical. 15,022. Oh, that's a high spread. That is a high spread. Let's go to 22. Still a high spread. This one I'm going to add just because it's earnings. I want to see what it's kind of doing, even though earnings doesn't happen until after market. Let's go SQ. Downtrend, of course, testing the 50, pushed it back down. Let's see where it's at on the daily. We got a good bottom and tail here yesterday. Buyer stepped up. Just like the other one, if it can break yesterday's high, might see some play in it. And again, I'm sure that high is right there at the 50. Bam, right there at the 50. Let's see what contracts look like. Good open interest. 25-cent spread. It's a little high. Open interest, I would probably go with this one. And the spread is 20 cents. So we're going to add that one. And we're right where I need to be getting out of here. One other one I do want to look at. Actually, two of them. I'm going to look at HD. HD was in a downtrend, but look, it's above the 50. Let's see where it's at on the... Another inside day here. Another inside day. We're above the 200. Let's see what contracts look like. We'd be right there. 70-cent spread is wicked. 1100. Another 70-cent spread. This is one I'm going to add. If you see me trading this one in the reviews, something special had to happen. And the last one I want to look at, I did just see it pop up on here, was Upstart. But where did it go to? I'll type it in. UPST. I just want to see what it's doing. Below the 50. This one I'm going to just check before I do anything else. Yep. Okay. All right. I think that's going to be it. One other thing I will do is just do a search for high volume and see what's trading a lot right now. Apple hadn't made it onto the list. That's good. Tested it, rejected it. Let's see where we're at. Inside day. Apple's normally liquid. 42,000, 28, 21. That's good. Come over here on this side. 19,000, 21. Oh, that's high. So put sides wouldn't mess with. Call sides we'd look at. So we'll add that. And that's going to be it. We're going to work with those. So now what I will do is add those to my watch list. And I'll just give you a quick peek at the watch list. Give me one sec. Okay, so that there is my watch list. And what I do from there, where I was dropping those stocks at in my daily ideas, I just drag them over. So I'm basically dragging these over from that watch list and adding them to these thumbnails. And then I just watch these thumbnails like a hawk. I just watch these thumbnails like a hawk. And these all have pre-market turned on right now. So that's why you're seeing movement on them. I'm not going to have that one on there. Red. I usually, this area here, these charts are red because I used to try to separate them. But I need to go in and change those from being red. But these are my ideas today. Always the Q, always the SPY. And then I have these 7 that I'll be watching. And we'll see how it comes out. One thing that's normally there is those same ideas. So from here, I can click on one of these. It'll populate my charts. We'll go back to the trading station. I'm going to get it set up for trading. I will close that. I will come up here to flexible. And I'll move this back over where it belongs on my 3rd screen. All right, and there is a peek at that 3rd monitor that I'm usually looking at. That monitor there has the watch list for the calls and puts that I may be getting into. Has a quick chart for the option chart. Has message center for any new ideas that may be populating the scanners that I'm using. I have the option scan watch list, the pre-market volume watch list, and another daily ideas watch list. And then we have the almighty option chain for picking options. And then to the far left, we have the active trader to get into trades. So I can get into trades from that screen, or I can get into trades from my battle station. They're both linked up. So just makes it easy. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one short and get in this market. Holla at you later. Peace.